Meetings called to order. All right, so the minutes for July 24th, 25th, and October 24th are not available yet. So hopefully we'll have those the next time we gather. Today's meeting will be to discuss who we're going to give money to, how much we're going to give them to. So I have asked for Brian to join us tonight to talk about the Fire for Effect, because I personally have some questions about that program. So Brian, are you available?
Yes, I wasn't sure if you wanted me to turn on the camera and the microphone quite yet, but yes, I am available.
We would like to hear you.
How are you all tonight?
We're good.
Brian, thanks for joining us.
No, thank you for the opportunity. What can I tell you about the organization? What questions?
Okay, so it looks like from your grant, you're looking for a screen and a projector.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if we did not give you the full amount, what would happen?
We would have to find funding from other sources. And where we would find those funds at right now is undetermined.
And do you have a site license for these movies?
And that's also part of what the grant money we're asking for is to get. It would cover part of the licensure to hold the movies. Yes.
That's not listed on the grant though.
Right, the grant is just for those two other items.
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't draw up the proposal.
No, that's fine. I know Al did it. I have a question, Tina, if I may.
Yeah.
Is there any resources, since you guys are working out of BTV, about cameras and screens? I'm assuming you're gonna have to build a screen, obviously. But I mean, do they have a camera or a projector that you can use from BTV for the outdoors, or how does that work?
They do not have the screen or the projector out of BTV.
Okay.
No. So
now, West Bridgewater does outdoor movies, right?
That I'm not sure of.
Because I'm wondering if you could share equipment with them if they're not doing movies the same night that you are.
That's something. So if we were to connect with the town on something like that, that may be an opportunity. However, we as the organization would like the ability to have flexibility with our own equipment and to be able to hold those movie nights, as well as possibly use the equipment for other events that we're hosting through the year as well.
Okay, Beth, do you have any questions for Brian?
No, just I think our concern was that if we don't fully fund it and they don't get the rest of the funds they need, then will they be able to hold those movie nights?
Did you hear the question, Brian?
The answer would be no. Unfortunately, with the surplus that we have now is going to cover our operating expenses through the rest of the winter. And so no, we would ideally like to start hosting those events in the month of May or late April. And so if we didn't get the funding for it now, we would not be able to host those events now.
And how much are site licenses?
That is, so I was asked to step in for Al. That is more of Al's forte in terms of the amount for the licensure. I can get that answer for you by the end of the day tomorrow.
No, we need it tonight.
Okay, so that is not an amount that I have currently. However, I can make.
I'm just wondering if it's an achievable thing to get money from other sources for the site licenses.
So currently we're asking you all for the finance or the funds for the projector and the screen.
Correct.
Finding the funds for the licensure would be an entirely different operation.
So I guess what I'm getting at is if we gave you the money to get what you need, but you don't get any more money for site licenses, what would the purpose of our grant request? You know, the money we give you, you won't be able to use it.
So we'd be able to use the equipment for sure. So our operating funds, what we have in the bank currently, wouldn't be enough to support both. If that makes sense. Wouldn't be enough to support the equipment and the licensure and our operating expenses. We would have enough for either or.
I have to interject here if I can, Tina. Brian, what you have to understand is when you go down to your site, there's nothing there but a field. We just don't want to get in the position where you don't have a track record as of yet, and we give you this funding, and all of a sudden it doesn't happen this year and the funding's gone. Where we could use it somewhere else in the town of Bridgewater. I mean, we're taking a pretty good risk on giving you folks money, assuming that this is going to happen. Do you have any backing by a bank or any? Who are you working with as far as your site plan's concerned? Are you working with the town? Is there somebody in the town that is working with you that, you know, we just need to get some backup to find out what's going on. We just don't want give money out willy-nilly and just find out that, you know, this has happened to us before. You know, we've given people money for projects and, oh, we didn't have enough money. So what happened? They didn't give the money back to us. They kept it.
Right. So we are a direct grant. So when we approve, you get your money. And you don't have to prove to us unless we come at you afterward and say, where's our money? So that's why we're a little bit hesitant to just not knowing that you have all parts in place to fully
Yep.
benefit from this.
So I absolutely understand the concern. Totally valid. We are fully prepared to put our money where our mouth is. Over the course of last year, we held 6 events. And through the course of those 6 events, we had several thousand people come through our events. We are working with the town councilman very closely, as well as other organizations in the town to support our events. We actually raised over $1,000 to donate to the fire department early last year and convinced the town to write in First Responders Day into law through that operation. We are very dedicated to our project and our mission to hold these events. We have 6 scheduled events to go through next year as well, including a 3-day music festival in September that we'll be hosting at our location along Spring Street. We've had extensive conversations with the town councilman about these events, and holding these Monday nights in the park is actually a very important to us personally, just to keep the main mission is to get people in the town to come together and create that sense of community once again. So in terms of the backing itself, we've been established for the last 1.5 years, and we've had the track record that we've had. Our events have been quite successful in terms of the draw. We have just about 500 social media followers that engage with us on a daily basis, or excuse me, at least on a weekly basis that we post there. But when we have events, it's much more consistent than that. So does that answer the question that you were looking for?
Yeah, your answer is your answer, right? We're going to have to discuss it and find out what we decide we want to do. We're responsible for the town of Bridgewater, making sure that the monies go to the benefit of Bridgewater. And it sounds like what you're doing is a great thing, but you go down there, there's nothing there. And, I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's on paper, it sounds great, but without any background, financials or anything like that, we could give you $750, and then if it's not enough money for the movies, you don't give it back to us. It's a grant.
In terms of the venue, you did ask a question about the venue as well. In terms of the venue, there are several project plans in place to actually further develop the land. I'm not sure when was the last time I'm not sure when the last time you visited the site was.
Last week.
So last week. Okay. So
I drove down and there was a field and a canoe launch, and that was it. There was no infrastructure. There was no stage. I didn't see much.
So that's also in the process. We are speaking with the town of Bridgewater, the town councilman, to also get funding for a 40-foot pavilion to go in the back there to where we hold our events with the live music, etc. There's also plans to put in more grass, and there is talk with the town councilman as well to get the entire parking lot repaved to make it more accessible.
Now, that's public property, correct?
Correct.
Owned by the town?
Correct.
And who is the councilman? Are you working with the town manager or a councilman?
All the above, myself. First, I'm drawing a blank on their names, but all of the above. We've had
I know
several
that Dennis spoke with the person who's running this at the very beginning, Dennis Gallagher. I don't know if he's still involved or not.
Oh, Dennis is involved?
Brad as
he-
well. And then I'm drawing the name. I'm drawing the blank. I apologize.
Probably Mike, I don't know.
Mike, correct. Yes.
He's a town manager.
Yes.
All right, so
I don't have any more questions. If anyone else does.
Beth,
No,
It's in the
Okay.
middle of our schedule, so when we get to it, we'll get to it.
okay, thanks, Brian.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian, for
Okay.
informing us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mary Lee?
I invited Marilee so she could talk about her event if we had questions for her.
Mary Lee, are you there?
I see her there, but she's not saying anything. Let me call her. Give me a second.
is that about the Winter Wonderful?
Yes.
Yeah,
Hi, Andy.
Marilee, can you go up?
I can't unmute myself.
You can't unmute yourself.
Oh,
The host has to unmute her.
Oh,
Are you the host, Tina, or is Josh?
it doesn't say that I'm the host.
No, I think, no, you're not the host. I think the host was Josh.
I'm looking for options for me to disconnect.
I think Tina, the host, looking you up.
Okay, then it's all set.
What's all set?
Can you hear her?
Through your phone?
Oh, I can put you on the phone if that,
Okay, because I can't put my picture up or unmute myself or anything like that.
Yeah, Brian did it without me
Oh,
doing
I
it.
found another button.
Oh,
Okay.
you got it. We got you.
Good.
Hear me?
okay.
Hang up, Andy. Okay. Can you guys hear me? I've been putting the
Yes.
little white hand that it showed. I've been putting that up there. I will, let's see if I can put my picture up too. Let me try to do that. I hate not.
There
seeing
you
Oh my God.
So I'm a real person. I'm a real person. Sorry about that. I'm not used to using this computer on Zoom. So good evening.
Marilee, thanks for coming. We wanted to find out from you a little history about what your grant, you're looking to do with the grant and the history of the Winter Wonderful. and
Sure.
why You're doing the grant this year and not, this will be for 2024 for next year.
Yeah, for next year. Right. So Winter Wonderful started last year. Was kind of a complicated start because we were told I brought together all the nonprofits in town to talk about the fact that the Lions Club had said they weren't going to decorate the common anymore. And so we decided to group together and do something that I just picked a name out of a hat because it was September or October and we were kind of behind the 8 ball and chose to call it Winter Wonderful and called around to some companies to try to find out how we could put some lights up in the common. And that's how it started last year. We were quite a consortium of several of the nonprofits. This year, I happen to be president of the Bridgewater Improvement Association, which has been in Bridgewater since 1901. So we, in 1967, we were endowed by Flora T. Little. So much the same as the Flora T. Little at the library. We have a trust fund that supports our organization, and we have for years done all the tree plantings and all the landscaping and everything that's been done in Bridgewater. We built the $250,000 fountain in front of the Academy building twice. We did once in in the 1950s, and we did it again when we did the Academy building. We do not maintain it. We gave it to the town. We have our state contract, our state license, I guess it is, gives us permission to do things on municipal land. But we try not to have anything that we own on municipal land. So for instance, when we put the fountain in, we gave it to the town. When we did all the furniture at the library on the portico, we gave it to the town. When we do things like that, we do the purchasing and we hand it over to the town. So that's just a background of the BIA. Somehow this year, it kind of turned out that all the other nonprofits weren't there to help with Winter Wonderful. So the BIA has been kind of doing it on its own this year, raising funds. As of last night, we were within $1,000 of raising what we needed to raise for this year. So I went ahead today and ordered the lights. BIA has already put in $2,000 of its own, but depending on how much we make or don't make, by the time the lights go up, we will put in the rest of it to make sure that that the lights go up.
So how much of the grant that you have requested from us do you still need?
That would be for next year, for 2024.
Oh,
So-
okay.
Every year we have to raise $25,000 to do it. So it would be, what is that once?
It will be your seed
Yes.
money for next year.
It would be for next year, right? Right.
Because
Okay.
the check doesn't go out until after January 15th, right, Tina?
Oh, I don't know, Andy. I thought they would get them when we send out them a letter.
Oh, okay. Well, if that's the case.
We need to
then
figure
she
out
can-
if that is true or not, because
Yeah.
well, last year we were so behind
Yeah, that's true.
that's
thought
why it
maybe it was
happened
after.
so quickly, but I think
We-
Lori might be the person we need to check with on that.
Yeah.
We're-
My assumption was
Did
that
you-
as soon as we sent them the letters, they could go ahead and apply for it.
Yeah, because last year, Merrily, I don't know if you remember, we had a backlog and we had all sorts of problems. But
Remember,
with the three of us, we were able to do everything in a timely fashion. But by the time people got checks, it was January and February.
yeah.
So, you know,
That would be, at first I was thinking, oh, this would be money, and we will be doing it in January up to the 1st of February. And if we were short, we could use some of a small amount and still keep some for next year. Last year we kept, I think, $2,000 or $3,000 out of what we earned last year, so that we would have something in about August or September. We have to give them a down payment. on
Yeah.
what-
You are aware too, this past year, they had festival fundings through the state. So that's
Yes,
another
I'm
avenue for
going
you.
to apply for one of those this year too. I will try that. I saw them and I thought, well, we're not really a festival, like it's.
Well, you're having a
fun,
festival
of
for the,
lights down there, so, but what we do is what we will do on the 26th of November is have our flip the switch ceremony, which I will include probably about 30 citizens from around Bridgewater. We'll have music and it will be on the common, and everyone who's been donating gets a ticket, which is being put in a jar. And we will pull a name probably on Friday before that event to see who is the person who gets to come flip the switch and turn the
Oh,
light.
very nice.
So that's been kind of an incentive to, to buy a shirt or to, to give money or something like that.
So Mary Lee, the applying for the festivals is in the summer, and you will get
Yes.
your results before you would even file for grant money from us.
Oh, okay. Yes, I saw
And
it.
you can do both. You
I
can do
Yeah.
think I saw
both.
it this year, and I think Tina, you'd even mentioned it to me at Black Hat or something. And I very strongly considered applying for it, and then I didn't want to look greedy or presumptive. I just wasn't sure.
no,
That has nothing to do with
No.
us.
it's the
Okay.
state. And you know
Okay.
what? Everybody who
Nothing to do with
applied
us.
for it got it.
Okay, well, next year we will,
Yep.
apply, and next year I actually have someone who's been a formal fundraiser before is going to take over the fundraising, because I will have retired by May, and we may travel a ways and I may not be here. Well, I'll be here by September, I'll be back. But,
Yeah.
I have somebody working earlier on fundraising and selling the shirts, all of that sort of stuff. So yes, I think we're prepared this year to be able to make what we have to do for it. If we had your money and we were going over by $500 or something like that, perhaps we could use 500 of it for this year to make sure that everything was done. But the BIA can pick it up. Like I said, we've already invested some $1,000s in it, and I would prefer not to tap our budget because we have some very expensive plans for the Florida Little Park. It's right beside the old mobile station, and there's a lot going on. We're trying to make that handicap accessible, put in a small splash pad, have a Native American sculpture in it, and some indigenous plantings and gardens for the blind, that sort of thing. So that's a very high priced thing that we've got on our,
Okay,
and I'd like
all right.
to,
Do you guys have any questions for Mary Lee?
Remember, this isn't gonna commingle with the funds for your splash park or whatever.
no,
Okay.
no. When
All right.
people give us donations to this, I have them they have to make out their check to the BIA because that's
Mm,
where our checking account, well, the
Yeah.
bank recognizes it. But they write Winter Wonderful in the memo, or even up at the top, BIA for
That's
Winter.
fine.
We have a specific account that goes in, and that's only Winter Wonderful money. It doesn't mix with our trust money or
Okay,
anything like that.
good.
All right,
Okay, is that good?
Thank you.
you're good. Thanks, Mary Lee.
So good,
We'll
thank
keep
you.
Posted.
Thanks for
Totally
taking the time.
sign out, or you don't want me to be here for any particular
Beth,
reason?
you have no questions, right? Yep, we're all set, Mary Lee. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
All
I'm
right.
gonna part.
All right, continuing on with our agenda.
Mhm.
So one of the people who we denied, I made the mistake of just putting that it was a Brockton venue, so that's why we kicked them out. And
Yep.
apparently that wasn't enough. And so we have to vote again whether we want to finance them. That is the grant number 11
Mhm.
from our original list.
Yep.
That was the Christ Church doing a concert where they charged to get in.
In Brockton, correct? Or East Bridgewater?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I'm against.
I'm still against as well. I mean, if we didn't have so many other things in
Right.
town.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I will send them a formal email saying that we denied them for more than just the venue. So I'll take care of that. So
And we're
all in
sorry for
favor of
putting you in
denying
that-
that?
Sorry for putting you in that position.
That's okay. No, it's my fault. Okay. The administrative funds that we set aside, the $1,000 or however much it was.
1,100, yep.
Does anybody want to hang on to it as admin funds or use it for grants?
Well, that includes the 1378 that we have minus the 250 that you use for the signage and all that. So
Right.
we'll have a couple $1,000s in our account. So I don't know, do we really need it? I mean, we have the 1,000.
I mean, no, none of us have come up with a plan for
Yeah.
use of it for our own program.
Yeah, but it was
So-
recommended to me to take the money out and hold it in escrow just in case we came across something that we might need. If we don't, we'll just put it towards the grant. We'll bring the grant funding up to 22,000 again.
Beth, any thoughts?
I think we should do that. I think we should put it back into the grant.
In the grants, okay,
Okay.
all right.
Do I have a motion to put the administrative money back into the grant money?
Motion second,
Okay, all in favor?
aye.
Okay, unanimous. All right, so then the treasurer's report.
Yep.
How much do we have to grant?
We have 22,000, roughly 23. I'm still waiting for Laurie to send me I think it was $250. It was hold on a second. I have it here somewhere. All right.
I mean, we have to spend every penny.
Okay, so we have 1378.14 less 250, so it's around $1,100. I'm just saying round figures because I'm waiting for Laurie to get back to me on that figure. So that's the excess that we have if we don't take the 1,100 out. And the 1,100 was 5% of 22,000. That's where we come up with that number. You have,
Okay, so Andy, I'm asking you, how much money can we allot now, tonight?
okay, 22,000 plus another 1,000, so $23,000.
Are you sure? Because we only got 22
Yep.
from the state.
And we have 1378 minus, I think it's around 250. So that brings it back down to roughly $1,000. I'm just using the 1378 from July. I don't have the figure from Lori. It's on the form on the computer, but I can't be in two spots at one time. If you go on
All
to,
right, let me see if I can access it.
yeah, if you can access it, you'll say,
I'm a
Yeah.
little confused. Is the 1,100 that we just voted to put back in the grant money?
brings it up to 22,000.
Okay, so that wasn't part of the 22,000.
It was. We have up to, I think she said 5% to take off of it, and that's why I took that off, just in case we needed funds. Now we put it back in, it brings it up to 22,000. But we had money in the account already. We had $1,378.14 in June, and then from that, funds were taken out for products that we needed, signage and stuff like that.
But we're not putting that back in the grant money, right?
No, we're just,
Nothing I know of, no. So we've got
so
20
Andy, I'm looking at the financial report on the Smart Simple.
Mhm.
And it says that we have 21,000 available for granting.
Yeah, yes, and
We
that's
just voted to put,
another 1,100 in. So it's 22,000.
22,100.
100, yeah.
Okay, that's important that we know that because we don't want to give them any more or,
We have a wish list of $30,000 and 920.
yeah, I know. Okay. So with 22,100 available to grant, let's begin. So we have 17 grants. Now we can do one of two things. First, we could go through and say which ones we want to fully fund without any discussion,
Mhm.
or we can go one by one. How do you want to do it, Beth?
Let's do the fully fund ones. We did that last year and it worked out pretty good. There were some that are very simple, and then there's some that are complex we can come back to.
Okay, so everyone's looking at the list, right?
Yep.
All right, so I did my own little calculations. And the first one I fully funded was the Winter Wonderful.
Mhm.
Does anybody have a problem with giving them the full 4,000?
And-
Or do you want to hold that one and come back?
Can we just go down the list?
And just see if we want to fully fund it.
Yeah,
Okay,
and then we
all
can
right,
come
so
back to
the
those.
first one is the Be Social at the Cedar Street Community Center.
I thought the first one was the rainwater players.
Not on the,
I've got the
See,
list
we
right here
is yours
Off
in a different,
off the computer. No, what happened was when Tina, when you sent that email out, we had to go through a process to get these.
Right, it's completely out of order.
Oh, it is.
Yes.
'Cause I have the first one, Rainwater Players in the Osamica Club.
So the first for me is the Be Social.
yeah, me too.
All right, so Andy,
Okay.
Beth and I are gonna do our list. You're gonna have to jump. I'm sorry.
Okay, what is that one?
Be Social.
Okay,
They're asking for 1,000.
oh, Be Social, okay, yep.
We had already talked, I think, before about not fully funding them.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think we should give them the minimum, which is 250.
I think so too, because I looked at their website and 90% of their events are in East Bridgewater and in Brockton. And they've got this one event they want to do.
No, I think you're looking at the wrong grant.
Do they
They're
have-
only up at Cedar Street Community Center across from,
No, I know
Wait, no.
that. I know that, but it says to refer to their website. I went on the
Oh.
website and they have these events here, but not as many as they do in East Bridgewater or Brockton.
okay. So
So I think 250 is perfect.
you okay with that, Beth?
But is
Okay.
that what we're going and deciding on the amount one by one now? Or
I
are we
guess
just
we are.
fund? Okay. I
Just
don't
give me
care.
a second on that one, okay? Because I gotta find it. Okay.
Yeah, when I went to what Hanoko said was the workaround, it was completely out of order. And I'm like, oh
Yeah.
boy, I hope we don't have to refer to this list.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the second one on Beth and Mai's list is the July 4th brass band.
I think that's full funding as well.
Well, we only gave them 600 last year.
Oh, okay. That's right. and they
I
have a
vote we give
second
them
one that-
another 600.
Yep, 600, good.
Sound good, Beth? Okay, Winter Wonderful.
I'd fully fund them.
I think that's a great idea.
Okay. All right, then the Bridgewater Pride Talent Show,
I think we had talked about maybe just doing 250 for that. as well.
250? Andy,
Yeah,
you okay with that?
250. Yeah, 250 is fine with that. Yep.
Okay. Art with Melissa at the library. Now, keep in mind, we're giving them 3 grants,
Yeah.
Giving who-
indirect.
Well,
What's
that's
that, Beth?
Tina, is this correct to assume? It seems like Big Ryan applied for his own grant.
Correct,
The library didn't do it this year.
right, but that is who will benefit.
So the crafts with the art with Melissa is the library is who requested them.
Yeah.
So that would give them a program every month.
And is
So
it
if we
a half?
didn't,
Go ahead.
if we didn't fully fund them, they would have fewer than one every month. Any discussions? Do you want to come back to this one?
Because
Yeah, let's come back to that one.
Okay,
go down and then we're gonna run out.
right. Okay, so Karen Chance, Council on Aging, $300. They want her.
Yes, that's fine.
So 300 is okay?
Yep.
Fire for Effect. Gosh, I don't know what to say about this one, guys.
You know, it's hard because there's nothing there. And it's a great idea. I think I don't know, I give them 500 and hope that they can get the money. I don't know what to say. I don't give them all 1,500 and find out that we can't fund somebody else that's gonna do what they're supposed to do.
All right, let's come back to that one.
Yeah,
Or the other thing, I mean, we could see what they do this year and encourage them to apply next year.
Right, but they won't be able to do anything.
Yeah, but they're doing other things, like they're doing
Right.
new,
concerts and stuff, yeah.
so I don't know.
All right, let's hold that one. We'll come back. Okay, so Sherry Frymouth is the 8th one. She's the one who is a illustrator and writer of children's books that Ann Gerald is very excited about. And she would be willing to accept 400 of the 500 she's asked for.
Let's
I
do
spoke
it.
with Ann.
I
Yep.
think that's a great program.
Okay, so 400.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna wait on Music Alley, Andy.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's our biggest
That's fine. I can't vote on it anyways. It's between you two.
Right. Okay, the Six Flags trip.
Is that the one for $3,000?
Right, I was thinking 1,000.
Yeah.
Does that
you know,
even help at all, Beth? You've been involved in these things.
It would defray the cost. I mean, basically, it's so that the individual families don't have to, I mean,
to pay.
pay cost per person. It's quite a bit.
And I think it's what is it, $500 for each school bus that goes out there.
I think it's 700, Andy.
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like we should support them. How much we should support them is the question.
Yeah, I think 1,000 sounds reasonable.
Yeah, that's
Andy?
fine. That's fine. Yep.
Okay. Council on Aging, Tom Kelly, they want him 250.
Yep, 250 sounds,
Okay. Passport to History,
250,
250, yeah, so
Okay.
250.
that's fine, yep.
I talked with Santaquin people and they are willing to take less. So I propose for the Wampanoag to do 250 and for the History at Play to do 400. They requested 400 and
Yeah,
700.
it's 700, that sounds good, 250 for one. And
Does that
400
sound all right
the
for
other.
you, Beth? So 250 and 400.
Yep,
And then Big Ryan. We did fully fund him last year. So he performed every month last year. He's very, very well attended.
what about 1600?
What would that mean, that he can't do it every month?
He gets $200 a story time.
Okay. Oh, okay. So if we did 1,600, then he would be doing 8 of them instead of 12.
That would be basically the way I looked at it was, if we give him 16, he can do one every month, but the summer months.
Yeah, but that's when he really does them, is the summer.
Oh, okay. Well,
I mean, how about we give him 2,000 and he can decide if he wants to do it cheaper.
yeah, is there any funding from the library at all? No?
No,
Matching?
they don't have a friends group yet.
Okay,
Any comments?
No, I mean, we can always come back and look at some of these again. If
well, we can't.
We've
No.
already voted on.
We already
Let's
voted on.
hold this one
Yeah.
then. Let's hold Ryan.
Let's hold Ryan, yeah.
Okay, Rainwater Players. They want 3, I propose 15.
what did we give them last year?
1250.
I think 1,500 sounds good. It's up from last year.
I think
much?
Rainham gives them more than we do.
Yeah, but they're also charging at the, to get in.
Right, but it's pretty reasonable for going to see,
And
you
it's
know,
it's a nice community thing. And it's the only request from the high school.
So, okay, so the boosters weren't part of the high school then?
oh, that's middle school.
Oh, that's middle, okay, I didn't know
Yes,
that.
different things, yeah.
All right, so you're talking what'd you say, 1,215, what?
They got 1250 last year. I was
Yeah.
proposing that we give them 1,500, which is
Yeah,
half
well,
of what they
we didn't
requested.
have, yeah, okay.
All in favor of that one? Okay, and then the last one is also the Cedar Street Community Center dance, and I'm suggesting 250.
Yeah, I would say.
Just to show them that we support them, but not much.
Yep.
You okay with that too, Beth? Okay, so Andy, you want to add up what we've granted so far?
You know what, I don't have any of the numbers because I can't find them on here, I have to keep going back and forth. So if you just tell me what you've got, I'll write them
Okay.
down and add them up. It goes, just tell me the group and I'll put the number next to it.
Be Social 250,
Social. 50, okay,
Brass
yep,
Band 600,
yep,
Winter Wonderful 4,000. Bridgewater Pride 250,
hold on a second. Right, 250, okay, yeah,
Karen Chance 300,
yep,
Sherry Frymouth at the library 400,
yep,
Six Flags 1,000,
flags. 1,000, yep,
Tom Kelly 250,
yep,
Passport to History 250,
yep,
Wampanoags 250, History at Play 400,
yep,
Rainwater Players 15,
Yep.
and Cedar Street Dance 250. So we still have to figure out
we still got 4 left.
Art with Melissa.
Yeah.
Fire for Effect, Music Alley, and Big Ryan.
So we're up to 9,700 so far,
Oh, that's good.
added as we went along.
Okay,
That's a lot we still have left.
Yeah, we still have,
but these are big things.
right,
So Are With Melissa, Music Alley, and what are the other two?
Fire for Effect and
Fire
then
for-
Big Rain.
Well, as far as for effect is concerned, I would like to give them something to get them some seed
Well, we
money.
have to give them at least 250 because we did
Yeah.
not deny them.
I want to give them 5. Anyone else?
Are you speaking, Beth? You
I don't-
get closer.
this isn't gonna get them very much. But I mean, I do think it would be nice to give them something, but I think there's a good chance if we give them 5, they're not gonna be able to do what they,
If we give them 250, they're not going to be able to do it either.
right,
If we give them 1,000, they're probably not going to be able to do it because they need 1,500. Well, he said he needed the full funding. And I hate to say it, I don't want to be the bad guy about it, but I want to give them something to show in good faith that we're thinking about them, but there's nothing down there.
And without knowing where the money was coming from for the site licenses, that has me nervous that they have this equipment and won't be able to use it for what they intended.
That's why I asked them if BTV, because that's where they could borrow stuff from them, and Tina brought the same thing. Can you borrow some equipment from the other, even if you rented it for $100 or $200 a night or something?
Yeah, I have no idea what any of that. I feel like they're not really prepared. I feel like they are wanting us to buy this some equipment and then they'll figure it out.
It's happened to us before.
I did hear back from the dancer.
hey,
Is she coming to your house?
No, she said, do you need to have a formal proposal of what I'm going to do? And I said, yes, along with a letter of support. And she
Yeah.
has not heard, I've not heard back from her since.
Yeah.
But I did send her stuff and she didn't respond. So finally she responded. So at least she knows where.
And the other person hasn't contacted you at all, which I'm a little surprised about.
Which other person?
The one that we gave 2,000 last year for sound.
Yes, I've not heard from him.
No, and that disturbs me because his mother's on the cultural council in West Bridgewater, and she should have just said to him, you got to get this stuff done. They were kind enough to give you that money, and
I mean, I saw him working, so I know he
Oh, yeah.
used it. It's not like the dancer who didn't do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so I would like to talk about Music Alley because that's the biggest chunk right here.
did we decide, we didn't decide about Fire for Effect, or we did?
No, we have not, but the biggest money is the Music Alley. Now, I've looked historically, they have gotten more and more and more support from the Cultural Council. Like 2,000 the first year, 3,000 fourth. Last year we gave them 5,000.
I think it was 4.
No,
Check
it was
your-
5 last year.
Was it 5? Okay.
Yes. I mean, fortunately now they can actually make money off of getting some proceeds from the brewery. And the numbers are so much bigger that they probably are getting more in the bucket that gets passed around. So my inclination is to keep it at 5. What do you think, Beth?
I have no idea. I would say 5 or maybe a little bit more than 5. I don't honestly know. So we have about 11,000 left at this point for the 4 we haven't decided on. Even if we gave them, we probably could even give them 6, but
I mean, technically, we are allowed to stop funding somebody who's asked for more than 3 years, and they've asked for funding every year. I mean, it's a great program. It's great that it's over at the Black Hat Brewery, but I do feel like they have other sources of income now.
okay, well, so I'm fine to go with 5.
All right, it's just the two of us. I wish Nora was on here. All right, so 5 it is.
Yeah, so that would bring us up now to 14,700. So we
That
have
we're
the-
spending.
right, that we're spending. So we still have the,
Okay,
Art-
so let's go back to the Art with Melissa
and the Big Ryan, right?
and Big Ryan,
They both requested 2,400.
correct?
I mean, do you think whatever we do, we should do the same amount for both?
No,
No.
not at all.
I mean, they're both popular events that are well attended,
Right,
both monthly,
it's multiple times, right?
right?
You can speak, Andrew.
Has Big Ryan got, we fully funded him last year for 2,400, is that right?
Correct.
And how much do we have left? We've got, what, Fire Effect and for a couple others, or?
We've got the 2 library programs. Well,
Yep.
Big Ryan, the library program, and Fire for Effect.
Okay,
We have like 7,400 left for those 3.
I think we should fully fund Ryan and Melissa.
Okay,
I mean, you know, if it's gonna work, you know, the thing is, I come into this group and I'm looking at numbers and I think, you know, we give money to people with the biggest bang, the people that are gonna get a lot of people in the town in, like Marilee's event, you're gonna have people going around that rotary, thousands of people.
Right.
And the library's the same way in any other event, you know, if we have extra money left over, then some of the other places, that some of the other applicants, we need to use the money up.
okay,
Because
so Beth, how much are we up to now, fully funding Brian?
Okay, then we would be up to 9. I mean, we can double check this, but if I'm adding right, we would be up to, we will have spent 19,500, which means we'll have 2,600 left. Right?
No,
Yes, no, we have 22,100, I thought. That what we said, 22,100?
right, let me, because I did some preliminary.
22,100.
Oh, yes, so we do have an extra 1,000 from what I calculated, if we give Fire for Effect the full 1,500.
And we still have 1,000, right?
Right.
So we could decide to give more to
Music Alley,
Music Alley, yeah. And so-
or the Six Flags. Or the high school.
Or we could split it.
I mean, part of me wants to fully fund this Fire for Effect just because I'm hoping it's successful. At least it's somebody in town that's doing it,
Right.
so we can sort of,
I think it's great intentions and hopefully. I mean, what's the worst case scenario? They're not.
they have equipment that doesn't get used.
It doesn't get used, but then they maybe save it for the following year and get to use it in the future.
well, I think the thing is, if we give them 250 or 500 or even 1,000, we don't fully fund them, and it doesn't work out for them. All right, I think if we give them close to what they want, they'll have the equipment as long as they can say we got the equipment. And if it doesn't work this year, they'll use the money we gave them till next year. And if they, I think if they don't do what we give them money for, and they reapply next year, we'll remember that. That's all.
Yeah. All right,
and if-
so,
Give them a small portion, chances are they're not gonna be able to do.
right. All right, so are we all in favor of fully funding them then, the 1,500?
Yeah,
All right, so that gives us 1,000 more. Right,
100, right? If we really have,
1,100?
right, if we started with 22,100, we still have that 100 plus the 1,000.
Okay, I mean, should we increase the brass band? They asked for 675, we're only giving them 600. I'm just going through the list here of the groups that we funded. We could give Osamoquin more.
I don't think we need to give Osamoquin more. They already said that they would take,
yeah, they're doing a couple.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think,
I didn't, I just discussed with them what would happen if we didn't fully fund. I
right.
didn't discuss dollars.
um, Well, we could, the brass band 75, you know, maybe we should put them up to the full amount, 675.
You okay with that, Andy?
Yep,
So we still have about 1,000.
We need to have it exact, Beth.
We have 1,025, but we will need to go back and add these, make sure I didn't make any mistakes in that. But yeah, so we have 1,025.
Okay,
So we're talking about Music Alley, the Six Flags, which I guess as a parent who kids did the Six Flags, I mean, we just paid for it.
so you think that what we're giving them is sufficient?
Well,
I think so. I think there's a lot of kids in this town who can't go to Six Flags or have nothing to do. Kids that go to private schools can't benefit from this trip to Six Flags. It's not open to everybody. This is just a group. I mean, all these other events are open to the public. You know, the Fire for Effect, the senior center, the library. I mean, this is just an organization that it's just all about them. And you know what? They have
Well,
a
part
plan.
of what our group is about is arts and
I
having the
understand
music
that.
band be able to be, you know,
I know, but part of it's paying them to go on the ride.
That's what it is. They're going on the rides and playing.
all right, we'll leave that one there then. All right, so do we want to give the other money then to Music Alley?
Or the other thing you had suggested was more to rainwater.
I mean, Rainwater is very well attended.
What's rainwater?
That's the play,
Oh, the
the
play.
musical that they put on, and that's open to the public.
And I
It
think
is.
sorry, but-
Is it charged? They charge at the door?
They do, it's not a lot, it's enough to, because they have to rent their costumes and,
very high quality production too for a high school musical. I mean,
Yeah.
so when my kids were little, it would be like a great way to introduce them to theater. I do think it's a great event. I would be okay with giving them more or Music Alley or dividing it. Doesn't matter to me.
let's divide it.
All right, so what did we say we have? 11,
I'll tell you in a second.
25, I think was the amount I said we have. 1,000, no, just 1,025. She gave the 75. Now I'm confused with that.
We have 21,000. The way it stands now.
Okay,
No, we moved,
so we have 1,100 left.
Yeah, we had 1,500 for Fire Effect, both fully fund the library events at 2,400
right,
apiece.
so we increased the brass band to 675.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So I think we have,
$21,075 right now.
At 1,025? What? Is that what it
Yeah,
is?
if we advance the brass band by $75,
Then we have 1,025. Right?
21,075
So that's like
Yeah.
another 500 and
each.
we'll give 500 to one and 25 to the other, 525. How's that?
So
Who's getting what?
let's give Music Alley 525.
All right.
So that's 55.25.
And then Rainwater's getting 500, so that's 2,000.
I'm okay with that.
Shall we add it up again?
Yeah, I think we should.
Okay. Ready?
Social 250.
Yep.
Brass band 675. Winter Wonderful 4,000. Pride 250. Chance 300.
No, Art with Melissa,
Oh, okay. That's 300, right?
2,400.
Okay, so I'm bouncing back and forth here.
Okay, do you want me to do
This
it
is-
then?
Yeah, you saved them till last, so yeah, do.
I got Art with Melissa, and then I also did get Karen Chance. Okay. So the next one
You
is,
also did what?
the Karen Chance, the carving out. your
300.
Yeah, I got-
Chance, that was 300, yeah.
So,
Fire
then
for Effect,
for-
15.
15,
Cheryl Frymouth, 400.
400, yep,
Music Alley, 55.25.
yep.
Six Flags, 1,000. Tom Kelly, 250. Passport to History, 250. Wampanoag, 250. History at Play, 400. Big Ryan, 2,400. Rainwater, 2,000. And Jacqueline Rose, 250.
I came up 22,100.
Yay!
Got it. All right.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, what else is on our agenda?
So, I'm gonna have to contact Hanaco tomorrow and tell we're gonna put the 1,100 back into the account.
Yeah, I mean, we're not gonna have people come begging for the money yet, and we need to find out from Lori
Lori.
when they can collect the money.
I can do that tomorrow morning.
Okay,
And send
let me
them
know,
email.
because I won't send out the letters, because Nora's not here. She did it last year, so I'll have to do that, I guess. Send out the emails with
Yep.
the attachments for all the different things they need to fill out for us.
Okay,
And I'm gonna use, Andy, I'm gonna use my address so that we don't have to
That's
chase
fine.
down the letters at town hall.
yep.
And
And we
I
won't
will,
have to, we're doing this before tax season, so
right,
fortunately. drive
so
over
I
to-
will let you know, I'm not really gonna rush to do this until middle of December.
Yeah,
And then it's up to them to go and get their paperwork in and get the money and all that.
okay.
All right, any additional items for discussion?
What they know of. I don't know why this printed out this way. I took it right off the computer. That's
I
strange.
tried to get it to eliminate everything that wasn't in our list to be approved.
Yes,
And
that's,
it wouldn't let me do that.
oh, that's why, okay, because I eliminated everything. There's nothing in here that is not approved.
Right,
Everything,
I don't know how that list came in the way it did, but anyway, yeah, I will take care of letting the church people know that we've denied them formally.
yep,
And then I will send out the emails to all of these groups along with all the paperwork they need to get in from us.
good.
All right, so if there's no,
I only have an iPad. I don't have a laptop. So I think, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to do the minutes.
you know what, just give them to Josh.
Yeah, give them Josh. They can go with the office.
Like give them to him handwritten.
Sure,
Well,
Okay.
he's got the video anyway, so he can do it on the video if he has any questions. It's just approvals. That's all it is. That's all he talked about. We had,
I have 2 pages of notes. I don't know what I have to write.
I mean, our minutes are nothing like what other parts of town have to do. It's just basically who got money and who didn't.
Do I have to list who got the money and who didn't in the minutes, or do I just have to say that we went through the list and we decided how
You,
much?
you need to put down, which
Okay.
groups got how much.
All right. And there's no
Okay.
hurry to do that.
In theory, we should not be meeting again until,
After the
I mean,
first of the
Andy and I
year.
are gonna have to meet, or whoever runs up to the treasurer's office.
I'll go tomorrow
Um,
to see Lori because I'm leaving for a month or so. For my birthday and for vacation, but
When are you leaving, Andy?
I'm leaving next Tuesday.
Where you going?
I'm going to North Carolina to my mom's for Thanksgiving and then taking everybody to Disney World for 2 weeks and then coming back up there and then coming home. And then I go to Japan and the Philippines and Australia in late January for a tour. So with Sony Music. So I'll be doing that for the month and a half or so.
So what is maybe Beth and I will have to take care of getting these into Lori then.
No, whatever the time is, it's not a big deal. I mean, I
Right,
can,
but it sounds like send me your availability schedule.
I will.
Otherwise, Beth and I will take care of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm leaving for California Monday
yeah.
and not coming back till after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I'm leaving for Delaware next week.
So does this
Okay.
behoove us to get this stuff done as soon as possible? So it's all in before we all leave? I mean, I have no problem going to see
Well,
Lori.
We can do our part, but
Yeah.
if people don't get it back to us, remember last
Yeah,
year?
I know.
It took about a month and a half to get everybody's
Yeah.
stuff turned in.
Yeah,
But you know what? If it takes them, that means that's less time they'll get their money.
that's all. They don't get the money until they send the stuff in.
Right.
And then the check gets generated by
Sorry, what are
Lori.
you saying, Beth?
What kind of stuff do they have to send in?
Okay, so I'm gonna email them that they're getting their grant.
Yep.
They have to fill out the grantee agreement,
Okay.
the W-9. It's all on the agenda. The final report and grantee credit and publicity requirements. Those are all attachments that will be on the email.
Okay.
So they need to bring the grantee agreement and the W-9. They have to send them to me because I'm gonna use my home address rather than the town hall. And then once I get a group of those together, I'll contact either you or Andy because
Just
we need
sign
2
them.
signatures.
Yep.
And then once those signatures are in, we take it to the town hall and then the town hall, do they mail them the check? How does that work?
Yeah, they sent him the check. Although last year we had the chess club and the other one never got their check, so they had
No,
to go
that was the
get them.
previous year, Andy.
Yeah. Yeah, they mailed the checks to them, as far as I know. Send it on the mail,
Well,
on the
Who
addresses.
would have gotten the Music Alley money last year?
It probably came through town hall and one of the guys picked it up there. I don't know, David or whoever applied for it
Yeah.
last year.
So the paperwork they fill out says, I guess, where the money should go. All right, so if there is no additional items for discussion, we can adjourn. We should
Right.
try to drum up some more people to join our committee in case one of us isn't around.
I mentioned it to a couple of people, but
It's too
It's
bad
so
Nora wasn't
easy.
here. Would have
I
been
mean,
nice.
Honestly, Beth, how much work has it been for you?
no, it hasn't. It really,
It's not a lot of work. I mean, it was just basically 3 of us last year and Tina and I did most of the work. And it wasn't that much. Tina, the only work was driving around chasing people back and forth to get their money.
Right, right.
So,
And we're not gonna let them do that this year.
nope, this is smooth. It went excellent.
Okay, all right. So meeting is adjourned.
All right. Talk to you
It
guys soon.
is 7:05.
I'll send an email out tomorrow after I meet with Laurie and just let everyone know what's going on. And just to give everyone a heads up too is it's nice that we share emails when we do stuff. The information that we got from you on the Brockton group.
Yeah,
Oh, good. No, it's nice to know that stuff happens, you know?
there was another one that tried to, the Spanish teacher. She wanted
Oh,
to be
yeah, the library.
reconsidered, but they denied her reconsideration.
Yeah.
And then she sends an email to Hanoko and I, well, then where do we get money for scholarships?
I don't
I don't
know.
know.
All right. Have a
Anyway,
good night.
all right, have a good
Bye.
night.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.